In the previous part, our money-hungry protagonist discovered a species of fairies in an underwater cave, and as you would expect, he couldn't stop thinking of ways to put them to good use as money printers. The fairies led him to the Guardian, a robot who guards the item he was looking for in a previous part. This led to a furious battle. However, Lim didn't play fair. After figuring out that the robot won't attack the fairies, he used them as shields to quickly deal with the Guardian. And for defeating the Guardian, he received the item he was searching for, the Liquor of Life, which of course would make him a lot of money during the first disaster. Afterwards, he activated the shield ability around his head, and he swam to the surface with the fairies, where he was met with the chaos of his team members looking for him. Before we get on to the video, do me a favor and hit the like button, it greatly helps out the channel. Now back to the video. After the lake incident, Lim's vacation days quickly flew by, and he was back to his regular routine of taking care of gates. His team was assigned to an ogre gate, and they were the first to arrive, and as the monsters charged out of the gate, he ordered the civilians to get to safety. Then he ordered Wang to stall the monsters. Wang quickly activated his ability, and he stood in the ogre's path. The ogres turned their attention to him, and they attacked him. However, Wang was able to take the attacks without backing down. Lim had him and the others on a routine that included 5 mana nutritious meals, had hard training, and he made Wang fight on the front lines when his team was assigned a monster eradication job, like this one. Lim observed the fight closely. He then turned his attention to a stopwatch that had been timing how long Wang would last against the ogres. And to his surprise, Wang was growing at a faster rate than he expected. He thought that if this growth continued, then Wang would play a big role in the upcoming disaster. Lim stopped the timer and he ordered Wang to stand down. Then he turned to Lily and he expressed that it was her turn. He told her that she had 1 minute on the clock. Lily quickly activated her fire ability, and she shot multiple fireballs at the ogres, causing a giant explosion. Wang, who was in range of the explosion, quickly shielded himself, and Lily turned to Lim, and in an excited tone, she expressed that all of the monsters were dealt with, so Lim should buy her a monster burger combo meal. Lim took a look at the stopwatch, which showed that Lily took 1 minute and 5 seconds to eliminate the monsters, and in a cold tone he told her that she missed the 1 minute mark by 5 seconds, so she wouldn't get the combo meal, only a burger. Lily dropped to her knees in despair, and suddenly Wang approached Lim, questioning if they could eat dinner together. But something else had caught Lim's attention. He noticed that Wang's shadow was acting strangely, and after realizing what it was, he moved suddenly, and he attacked the monster that had hidden in Wang's shadow, killing it in 1 hit. Afterwards, he explained to the shocked Wang that the monster he just killed was a shadow goblin, and it was likely waiting for the perfect time to ambush Wang. Wang was speechless, his eyes widened and his mouth dropped as he stared at the monster that was moments away from ending his life. Lim approached him with a serious expression on his face, and in a serious tone he questioned why Wang is having thoughts about dinner when they are in the middle of battle. He expressed that Wang should get his shit together. Wang's expression saddened, and in a saddened tone he apologized to Lim, expressing that he will just eat the mana nutritious meal for dinner today, and do extra training to make up for this. Lim was surprised. However, he thought this side of Wang wasn't bad since it could help him grow stronger, so he accepted Wang's apology. Then he looked down at the knife he used to slay the shadow goblin. He gripped the hilt of the blade tightly with a determined expression on his face as he thought about his skills now, which were almost equal to his skills in his previous life. He turned his head towards the sky. As he is now, he can easily take care of shadow goblins, and he has lots of mana to spare. He grew more determined because if he keeps growing at this rate, there is no doubt that he will quickly grow stronger than he was in his previous life. From the rainbow in the sky, Lim calculated that there are only 15 days left before the rainbow completely disappears. Lily notices that Lim was looking up to the sky, so she turned to the sky as well to see what Lim was looking at, and to her surprise, the yellow color of the rainbow she saw a few days ago was now completely gone. To clear the night of the 7 moons, Lim wanted to make a few preparations. First, he needs firepower that will clear out the monsters coming out the gate. Second, a special team to destroy the core gate. Third, he wanted to set in place measures that will minimize damages to the city. And lastly, he wanted to find a way to administer the recovery and management of the wounded hunters. He has already taken care of the last one, however he still needs to get the other 3 in place. Inside the White House Guild building, we see Lim, Beak, and Lily walking together. And as they made their way outside the building, Beak handed Lim some documents, and she reported that the potion shipment will start this week just like how Lim wanted. Lim started reading through the documents, and he asked Beak to continue overseeing the potion's sales for him. As he read through the documents, a question came to mind, and he asked Beak if the potions passed the sales of food standard. With a smile, Beak expressed that Lim shouldn't worry about that, and she informed him that they won't need to promote it either, since it's a guarantee hunters will be lining up. She also told him that the prices of each type had been organized, and the details were in the report. Lim read that section of the report out loud. The report read that there will be a limit to how many potions one person can buy, and the potions will be sold at a higher price to hunters. This was exactly what Lim wanted, and he praised Beak for her work. Beak smiled and she expressed that she mostly used Lim's opinion. Lim shifted the conversation. He questioned Beak about Yongsun's progress with the golem, asking if Yongsun has gotten the golem to move yet. Beak informed Lim that the robot hadn't moved yet. They made their way to Lim's car and Beak explained that the others say it's impossible to get the robot in working condition. But Yongsun was determined to get it done. The driver got out of the car and he opened the door for Lim, Beak, and Lily. As Lim entered the car, he expressed that things should be fine if they leave everything to Yongsun. He was certain Yongsun would make it happen, since a chance to go to the zoo with Lily was on the line, and as he thought about this he couldn't help but smile menacingly. Inside the car, Beak handed him the next paperwork he had to look at, containing information about his friends, Yang Sangti, Shin Jungcheol, and Lee Yeonju, who were with him on the day he retired in his previous life. Lim knows that the future is changing because of him, and that means there is no guarantee that his friend in his previous life would survive in this life. He took the file and he hid it in his shirt, then he thanked Beak again for her work. And with a pleasant smile, Beak questioned whether Lim needed anything else, explaining that she wanted to take care of everything before Lim goes on his 1-week vacation. Lim leaned forward to the front seat of the car and he asked his driver, Mr. Chauffeur, how long it takes him to get to work. With a pleasant smile, Chauffeur says it takes him about 1 hour. Lim then expressed that it must be hard for Chauffeur to commit to work since he lives far away. Chauffeur, still with his pleasant smile, prepared to reply to Lim. However, Lim interrupted him. He told Chauffeur to move into an apartment close to the White House Guild. This shocked him, but before he could get clearance, Lim turned to Beak, and he asked her to prepare an apartment under Chauffeur's name. He expressed that the apartment should be big enough that Chauffeur's entire family could live there, and he told Beak that he would be paying for it. Beak, with a cheerful smile, replied saying she would get it done as soon as possible. She turned her head and with a pleasant smile she thought about what a unique person Lim was. Chauffeur looked at Lim through the rear view mirror in the car, questioning why Lim was doing this. With an awkward expression, Lim explained that he was only doing this for his own comfort, and he expressed that Chauffeur shouldn't worry since he has a lot of money. Chauffeur still found it hard to believe that he would be moving into a fancy apartment, and he questioned if he was dreaming or something. Lim turned his head and he stared, glaring at his reflection. He no longer has to worry about money since he started selling the potions, but he can't evacuate everyone around him. His gaze intensified as he thought about everything he has left to do before the first disaster. Sometime later, after arriving home, Lim prepared for his week-long trip with Lily, and before they could leave, Suridiok approached and with a pleasant smile, he expressed that he hopes Lim and Lily will have a nice weekend trip. Lim turned his head, and he told Suridiok that he should keep the house safe during the weekend, and Lily expressed that Suridiok shouldn't run away while they were away. Suridiok smiled. He says with how greatly Lim treats him, he wouldn't dream of running away. Sometime later, while walking through a forest, Lim and Lily came across Wang. Wang had his head lowered, and he stared at a cracked boulder with a saddened demeanor. Lim motioned his hand for Lily to be as quiet as possible, and he told Lily that they should leave since Wang was focusing on his training. Wang approached the cracked boulder and he placed both of his hands on it. He was disappointed in himself since his attack wasn't as fast as he wanted, and with a sad look on his face, he said out loud that if he doesn't get stronger, Lim would abandon him. Hearing this, Lim was a little bit worried, and he questioned if Wang was still insecure about being abandoned. However, he didn't do much about it since Wang was currently more motivated than ever. But some part of him was questioning if he should really leave Wang like this, but since he had more important things to do right now, he turned to Lily expressing that they should leave. Lily stopped him, saying she wanted to show him something. She activated a shield, and using the shield they flew through the sky. Lim was impressed. He leaned forward, questioning how Lily learned to do this. Lily turned and with a surprised expression, she explained that she just tried it, and it worked. She also questioned if Lim couldn't do something like this. Lim remained silent. He was slightly annoyed by Lily's monstrous talent. Sometime later they arrived at Lim's treasure trove. He saved up everything he had inside this cave. They entered the cave, and two of the Snowies from the previous part approached Lily and they exchanged high fives. As they played, the Snowy that evolved approached Lim, and it reported that nothing out of the ordinary happened during its shift. Lim praised the Snowies for their work, and he ordered them to go guard the entrance. The Snowy that drank the liquor of life became as fast as a bullet, so taking into consideration their strength, Lim gave them the job of reporting if intruders ever intrude. And of course the Snowies accepted since they thought they will be protecting a friend's goods. After the Snowies left, Lim approached his work area and Lily followed behind. As they approached, Lily looked around questioning how Lim obtained all these items. Lim told Lily that he will explain later, and he grabbed 3 items from his stash. The first was the mask of a con artist, which gathers the attention of people and changes the appearance and voice of the wearer. The next item was the sage robe, which gives the wearer an intimidating aura. The final item was a glowing staff, which was a staff made of wood that glows when infused with mana. Lim donned the robe, and Lily donned the mask. Lim was impressed with himself, and he expressed that their new looks are very convincing. Lily was surprised by Lim's new voice, and she expressed that Lim's voice suddenly became cool. But hearing her own voice weirded her out. With this, Lim was ready to commence his plan, and sometime later at a gate, Lim and Lily cancelled their stealth skill, making it seem like they stepped out of the gate. All of the hunters present took a defensive stance, questioning if they had just witnessed a human stepping out of a gate. Lim took a look around, and he was pleased with the amount of witnesses present. He glared at Lily, signaling that it was time for them to start. Then he took off his hood, and he introduced himself to the other hunters as Aximus, a magician from the Gaia continent. And he shouted, saying that he came to warn the hunters of the disaster that will reach this land soon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then hit the like button.